says, you want to...
Okay. Hi everybody, Julia Sansevere. Welcome to the Martin County Difference. It's Wednesday, September 20th, and we always go on a little after 7 because of the commercials and everything, and I hope you will start sharing this and liking it. It's going to be a great show tonight. We've had some real news happening in the last couple of weeks since I've been on the air, and so we're going to talk about all that. I've got some great guests coming in the studio tonight. I want to thank my sponsor is Gary and Terry Molka with TC Palm Home Inspections. I'll thank them again later in the show. But it's just been quite an eventful couple of weeks since I was on the air. And the intro's rolling now for me on the radio, so I'm going to tamper down and just go ahead and please start sharing and liking this with all your friends.
Without written consent of WSTU. It's time now for the Martin County Difference with your host, Dancing Realtor.
Hi everybody, good evening. It's Julia Sansevere with the Martin County Difference, Wednesday, September 20th. Thank you for joining me. I've got a great show tonight, and it has been a couple of weeks since I've been on the air. As we all know, we've been through a couple of...
Yeah, what have you been doing?
Just kicking back and relaxing in the paradise that we call Florida.
Pina colada, sure.
Having a pina colada, right.
Talking hurricanes.
So, a few hurricanes that we've had since then. But we laugh because it says I'm your dancing realtor. Well, yeah, and I've got a friend in the studio tonight. We're going to bring her in first after a minute or two. I did Dancing with the Martin Stars, and that's really exciting because that's coming up this weekend. And I want to make sure to have everybody have one last chance to vote for their favorite star. So we're going to talk about that. But also, this is a talk show with a heart, a radio show where I talk with people who are making a difference in the community to make this a better world for all of us. And we are spreading positivity, folks, and we've got some really great people coming in the studio tonight, really great people, good Samaritans who are proving the point that we're in trouble in this country, we pull together, and boy, do we ever. And we've had some big trouble. So we're glad that we have Stuart Mayor Troy McDonald. He'll be in with his wife, attorney Portia Scott, and a couple of their friends and friends of mine, John Leighton and Alex Beringer. And they're heading up the Operation Keys to Recover. And we're going to be talking to them about all of that. It's very exciting what they've been doing this past weekend and what's coming up the weekend ahead. So, like I said, we were blown off the air 2 weeks ago, literally. I called up Frank and Carol, the owner of the station. I'm like, well, what do you think? And they're like, well, we're taking cover. You better run for it, child. So it was a big bad storm, Irma.
Cat fires are not to be trifled with.
Not to be trifled with.
No.
And it took out the radio antenna in Rio.
Yeah.
So once it came through, we couldn't go on the air that week. But we're back now, better and stronger than ever, like I say. Hashtag Florida Strong and hashtag Texas Strong. I am from Houston, as you may know, and all of my family and many of my friends are still there, and they were affected by Hurricane Harvey.
Right.
Big water event, Noah's Ark style.
It was like nearly 50 inches.
Yeah, I don't hear myself at all.
Oh.
Yeah. Am I talking into the mic? There we go.
There you go.
It's just a feedback? I don't hear it.
No.
Still don't hear it.
All right.
Anyway, maybe it's not plugged in. There we go. So anyway, there were a few deaths in both events, and now we've had Maria in Puerto Rico, and I just want to extend my heartfelt, sincere, deep condolences to everyone who was affected and who was injured or killed in those incidents. Fortunately, my family was spared the worst of it, and we also here only lost power for a little while. But it's unbelievable what's going on out there, especially now Mexico's had this horrible earthquake. So we want to send our prayers and shine a light on those people out there who are helping those in distress. And, you know, they're making life better for others. And this show started in that vein, making better life for little babies, newborns. Healthy Start Coalition is a wonderful organization here in Martin County that ensures that babies are born healthy, and they work with the mothers prenatal and postnatal. And a better healthy baby is a better healthy citizen, and then a community in turn. And the whole thing is to dance for points and also raise money at the same time, and they combine your score at the end. And so this is the final weekend. I want to encourage everybody to go to mchealthystart.org and vote for your favorite dancer. And I've got one of my favorite dancers is in the studio tonight, Misty Moody. But you can get tickets or be a sponsor. I think you know, you don't want to miss this. It's a sellout, and they may be sold out. But if you know somebody, like you might know somebody here, you might get in on it. So I want you to encourage you to tell all your friends about that. Also, this is a Facebook page and group, the Martin County Difference. I named it all the same to keep it simple for you. And it's on iTunes now as a podcast and on YouTube. All by the same name, the Martin County Difference. So you can follow it. Follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. And also, if you have any need for real estate, I am a realtor, so this is my little chance to sponsor the show for myself. Julia Sansevere, Florida Waterfront Specialist on Facebook, or you can go to my website, juliasansevere.com. And my number is 772-919-1385. And I want to thank again TC Palm Home Inspections. Okay, that's my sponsorship. Now, my real sponsor for the show is a family-owned and operated company. They're an inspection company. They're wonderful, Gary and Terry. And he will do a thorough inspection, and it won't be so scary when you use Inspector Gary. So you want to get in touch with them at 772-678-8133. Also, check out their website at tcpalmhomeinspections.com. And their son, Gage, is now engaged in the business, and he's helping out Dad. So I think we can bring Misty in now. So I wanted to thank everybody out there for listening, and still keep sharing this and liking it. And hi, Misty, come on in, come sit next to me. And here are your headphones. And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So how's it going?
Oh, we're in the last week, so we're in the home stretch.
Yeah.
And so it's all the little details at this point.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the hand movements and the styling and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, do you have somebody helping you with that?
I do. I
Who's
have
that?
Bob's partner is Alana.
Oh,
Aaron,
okay.
And she's helping me with all of those little details.
Oh, so
that,
Bob, tell us who your dance partner is.
Bob Murray.
Bob Murray.
Mhm.
Okay, he's great.
He is.
He did it
He's
last
very
year,
good.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did it last year. I believe he has won 3 of those mirror balls.
Well, you're in good company then.
So-
This is like having Derek Huff. You know, like when you get the good teacher, the good instructor.
Oh, he is
So you work at Geico, right?
Yes, my husband Kevin and I own the Geico local office.
Wow.
On US 1.
Do you have the little gecko at your office?
Always.
Those are the funniest commercials.
They do a very good job
They
of our
really-
marketing and everything. It's
Yeah.
a great company.
And how are you involved with Healthy Start, with Martin County Healthy Start Coalition? Did you know the people over there? How did they get involved with
I
you?
was approached by Lisa Holland, and
Okay.
one thing that we've always committed to when we opened the office here locally was just being involved in the community and giving back. That is one thing that we've always said that when we opened our business we like to do. And so when I was approached about it, we've done several other things for the Early Learning Coalition, Surfers for Autism, just lots of different events that we've sponsored and participated in. And when I was approached about this, I did some research about Healthy Start, and it just kind of like sat
Clicked.
on my heart right
Yeah,
there.
I
And I was
know.
like, oh, this is a great
I know.
opportunity.
When I heard babies, that's all you have to
Yeah.
say, you know, sweet little innocent babies, and I've got lots of nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews. Never any of my own, so I decided, well, if I can't have my own, I can help other people with their babies, other mothers and dads.
Absolutely.
And you know, they do help dads too. It's not just moms.
It's not, and it doesn't matter about your financial disposition
Right.
or anything. They help anyone who needs help with
Right.
any type of,
Right.
of medical,
Yeah, the
pre-screening.
main
and-
criteria is being pregnant.
Yes, that's
That's the criteria for the woman.
Yep.
But seriously, it's a family approach,
Oh,
and they
very
help
much
them
so.
in because we just don't get that little handbook with the baby. They don't. They should at hospitals. They should hand that here. Here's day one.
Oh,
Here's what
and
you
a
do.
lot of women don't know what services are out there
No.
for them to utilize,
Right.
for things, when they are pregnant. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of things pop up.
And once I've announced it on the show and talked about it, it never fails. The next week, somebody comes up to me and goes, I heard you talking about that, and they helped me.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's every different kind of person out there, young, every economic walk of life. Everybody, a fellow realtor, a friend of mine, and she's a young mom, and she was on her own.
Mhm.
It's that kind of thing, and just not knowing where to turn to.
Oh,
Maybe you don't
absolutely.
have the family structure here,
Right.
Or
Or you may not know a specialist that specializes in an area that you need for your pregnancy.
Right,
and
because
they'll help you with that.
they can help you go to a place to detect if
Mhm.
there's anything going on.
Oh, absolutely.
But prenatal care is the most important thing.
Very,
to get
very
going.
important. That's what
So-
saves the babies.
Yeah,
So.
and anybody out there knows, Beth Ann Algie, she's my friend, she's a nurse, she's out there. there listening. She knows that. So I want to thank Sam Massey sharing this on the Martin County Difference. He's in Texas. And thank you. And Terry Mulca's listening. Thank you, Terry. And she's one of my sponsors, so I know she likes to tune in every now and then. So what's your dance? Can you tell us, or is it a big secret?
No,
You can?
I-
Okay, good.
It's the Argentine tango.
Oh my God. That is
Yes.
very sexy.
Yes.
And how are you dressed in it? Long, short?
Well, now that's a surprise.
Oh, okay. Color? Is the color a surprise?
Oh, that's a surprise.
I wore my outfit here last time. Remember that last
Yeah,
year? Right
I
from dress
know.
rehearsal.
I know, it was so exciting.
And I gave a flash. It was like a lot of sequins, a lot of turquoise and sequins.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, you know.
It
It's
really is. It gets you out of your comfort zone.
I'll say.
I'm doing something I've never done before for a great organization, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's good. And have you had some other opportunity to meet the other dancers? Because they show on TV, the Dancing with the Stars, it's like, one big happy family, and they all have these, interactions. It's hard here in real life because we're all busy working full time.
Right.
This is all they have to do 8 hours a day is
Right.
dance.
Yeah.
You know,
I
right?
wish.
Right?
Well, yeah. And I've watched the show and stuff, and I'm like, wow, they get to do that over and over and over
Yeah.
again, and all day long. And I'm shuffling kids to soccer, and taking
So
care
you've
of a
got
business.
kids of your own?
I do.
How
I have
old are
two,
they?
8 and 11.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're a little busy.
You just a little bit.
So you're shuffling in the dance studio, shuffling the kids.
So
Well, are they excited? Are they going to be there?
they are. They're going to be there. They're very excited. My daughter came for a little sneak peek the other day when we were practicing at the Lyric. So it was good to see my daughter say, "Mommy, you did good. You did good." So when an
Oh,
11-year-old
that's the
gives you the approval,
Oh man, that's huge.
you're
Yeah.
good.
Well, and
So-
Lisa Holland gives you a big approval. She's saying, hello, you're going to
Aw.
rock the tango. We love Geico.
Lisa's great.
Thanks,
She's been
Lisa.
such a big help.
And Paula Crumpler is on. Thanks, Paula. So I like to say a shout out to my Facebook listeners. And thanks for tuning in and sharing this. It's going to be a big show tonight. Paula and also Cindy Tryon Cooper. Thank you very much. And Lisa again, hi. So keep sharing this. We appreciate it. And I want to find out, have you had any dance experience before this?
No.
Besides-
when I was
At the
a
wedding.
child, at the wedding,
Yeah.
things like that. But I mean, as a child, yes, ballet and tap, but
It's different. I know,
nothing
me
beyond
too.
that.
I was like, and then I found
Nothing
out.
like this, at least.
No, and I found out how different it is when you get a few years between that dance recital when you were 12 and
Yeah.
the one where you're 39 again, and the brain and the feet just don't talk.
Well, you find out you're not J-Lo anymore.
Yeah,
So-
you're not. It never was.
No.
No.
You're thinking, oh, I could do this. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. Whoa.
Well, thank you so much for stopping in to say hi. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut it short, but we've
No.
got 2 exciting interviews
Oh,
tonight.
absolutely.
You are, of course, very exciting. And don't forget the Lyric Theater this Saturday night. It's 6 o'clock is the cocktail party for sponsors, right? And 7 o'clock, curtain goes up.
Absolutely, I'll be there.
Toes a tapping, and it's a great event. It's a big Martin County event, so everybody can go if you've got a ticket, and even show up at the box office. Sometimes we tried to sell a couple of extras that we had left over, so go down there and go to mchealthystart.org and vote.
Please do. Please
Yes,
do.
it's
And
all
come to
for a
the
good
show.
cause.
It's
And
going
come
to be
the
great.
show. It's going to be.
We have a
very-
great cast this year.
I can't wait. And Peter Jones and Jennifer Jones, they orchestrate the whole thing.
Yes,
They
and I've heard
direct
they
and
are
produce it.
awesome.
They really are. You're going to have a good time because of that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, because of everything. And I'll be there and I'll see you.
Well, thank you for having me
And my
tonight. I
husband
appreciate
Richard,
it.
absolutely. I'm so happy. I couldn't have everybody on, but we tried. We got a bunch of you
We
on.
did, we had some storms out there and stuff like that, so we
Oh,
did what
that's
we
right.
could with
I know.
the time we had. So.
Oh, yeah. You had a couple of hours of rehearsal cut down. So bring in my next guest, and we'll have Misty say bye-bye to the viewers. So, hey.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for
Thank you so much for
listening.
coming. And come on in, Troy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll get the rock and roll show going now for sure. Dance on out of here, Misty.
I'll say that.
Thank you. So I've got Troy
We're
McDonald.
gonna change lenses
Stuart-
while we're.
Oh, and while we're on there live, we're going to do a magic trick. We're going to go to a wide-angle lens. My Emmy Award-winning
Wow.
director, husband,
Multi-talented.
multi-talented, yes.
Gotta
But
work it
I'll
out there,
introduce
'cause anyway.
everybody right now. I've got Troy McDonald. He's mayor of Stuart, right next to me. Hi, Troy.
Hey, how you doing,
I'm
Julia?
doing
Hi,
great.
Frank.
And next to him is his beautiful wife, Portia.
Yes, hello.
And we have Portia Scott, and we have one more headset if we can get him. I thought I put enough out. Did it fall down? Yep. Oh, it's connected to Portia. Okay, I'll get you one. And then John Leighton, on the end, and Alex Beringer in between Portia and John. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So, last weekend, you got together with Portia, and I ran over to Portia's office because I saw a Facebook posting about how you were going to take supplies down south and fly them. And I think, Alex, were you the pilot?
No.
John.
I was.
John, you were the
I was,
pilot.
Yes.
Whose airplane?
I have an agreement with a great guy in town, and I have access to his airplane. It was just fantastic.
Oh my
to have
God,
that
that's
opportunity.
awesome.
Yeah, sure.
That's generosity.
That is huge generosity, yeah.
And
As close as it gets.
To give credit where it's due, the whole idea of running down the Keys was John's idea, and hatched over dinner one evening, and
That's right, we're having your birthday dinner, and.
A happy
somebody
birthday.
had to do something. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. He's happy about that.
39 again, or 29?
little
Mum's the word.
somewhere around there. Let's put it this way: I hit a monumental age, so.
Ah. Well, you're doing a monumental thing. Let's capitalize on the adjectives and the words because it's a monumental task. To get the Keys back in order down there. We all know it's just horrible.
We've all probably seen the pictures on Facebook and the news media about what's going on down in the lower Keys. We were up in the upper middle Keys, and we saw quite a bit of damage. But in the short few minutes that we were there, and with the few people we interacted, you could absolutely tell there is they're very much distressed, emotional. And they're already starting to become worn down from between not only the storm but from the aftermath. And it's going to be a long, challenging road for everybody down there.
Well, it's the aftermath that is the brutal part. I mean, it's bad enough to the wind and the rain if you can stand it for the hours on end that it goes on and on and on. But truly, without power, without the air conditioning that we so desperately crave in Florida, period, anything from Orlando south, I think, at least, but all the south, it is just unbearable. And I'd say Florida Power and Light did a good job this time, as opposed to 04 and 05, when it seemed like 2 weeks to get power back, and you sneezed and you had power was gone. So we had it back in 16 hours. I know lots of people didn't lose power at all here in Martin County. Thank goodness for them and for that. But people are still way without power down in the Keys, and it's going to be a long time for that. Months. Oh my God. So, and what they need most is water, is what I've heard. Supplies also, but water. Right. So if you've got the ability to drop off water at a couple of these locations, and also these other supplies we're going to run through. But even Coldwell Banker, my office, there's realtors out there who we're people too, and so our Coldwell Banker office for the whole state of Florida has got 3 tractor trailers filled with cases of water, and all of our offices up here are donating water to take down there.
Excellent.
So and I'm going to just step on what we're talking about here. If you want to donate just water, you can do that with what we're going to talk about, Operation Keys to Recover. That's the name of the plan. But if you want to just drop off water, you can do it at my office at Coldwell Banker. It will get down to the Keys. And that's at 2369 Southeast Federal Highway, right where TJ Maxx is and Office Depot. Right next to there, it's Coldwell Banker at Monterey and US 1. So that's just water. But there's a whole list of stuff that you guys came up with. You went down there, you talked to people, right?
Well, we did, and when we flew down there, we went down in a very small airplane, so we were limited on our size and weight and bulk. So we took toiletries and small items, because one of the things is that people, they've lost their toothbrush, they've lost their toothpaste, they don't have any soap, they don't, baby wipes, wet wipes, soap, shampoo.
Mosquito repellent.
Mosquito repellent.
Yes, and sunblock.
Right.
And sunblock.
Sunblock.
Sure.
Is the key thing, and that's what we did. Totes of Hope for Houston, the Realtor Association. You were there, John. You know about that. It was a brilliant idea, and then lo and behold, Florida gets hit. So it's the same kind of thing. The toiletries are the first essentials. Deodorant, razors, feminine products, shampoo and soap, mouthwash. Teeth. Oh, I can't imagine not being able to brush my teeth, even if I didn't have any water, just to be able to scrub them. So toothbrush and toothpaste, and they sell them in little packs. And I was able to get there to your office, Portia. I was
Yes.
so excited. It was 5 o'clock. I'm like, no, the door's locked. I'd just been at Winn-Dixie and had 6 bags of stuff.
And that was so generous of you, and I know that the boys were very excited when I said, okay, I've got some more stuff for you to take down to the Keys the next
Yeah.
day. That was wonderfully generous.
Well,
Thank
I'm glad you took photos of it, and you did put those on Facebook about the damage down there and, the arrival of the goods. And where did you end up going? I think people are curious about what transpired.
Oh, John can take, John
John,
Craig.
you go.
Well, yeah, we flew into Tavernier,
Uh-huh.
which is a little north of Isla Mirada.
Right.
And this whole thing started really with a childhood friend that had posted on Facebook, and she was telling everyone, that there's a great need, and even in the upper Keys.
Aha.
So in any event, she has a great relationship with Dolphins Plus, and that's a research dolphin or mammal recovery response unit down in the Keys. And they're the first responders for the Florida Wildlife Commission, and they cover 10,000 square miles, I believe, in the Keys on recovery efforts for dolphins and whales and manatees. And so she has a very close relationship with them, and they were in desperate need of help. So their folks, their responders, stayed through the storm to help the animals, and so we just felt, when I was talking to Troy and Portia, we just felt that it was vital to help it any way we could with those folks. So that's really where we focused. I mean, there's so many others that needed help, and I know Troy's going back down this weekend, and Alex, you did some other relief efforts to another country. But no, we were very happy to be able to help these folks and the animals.
Oh, that's wonderful. The animals, that's one thing that came to mind because at the Realtor Association, people piled up bags of dog food.
Right.
And, you forget about that. Plus the babies that can't go shopping for themselves. So baby formula, diapers, baby wipes, everything, hand sanitizer. So, and what evolved is now that Harold Jenkins is involved with this too. He's got trucks going down. Is that what this is? Tell us about Operation Keys to Recover. I love the name.
Well, that's Operation Keys to Recover is after me and John made our trip to Tavernier, I started hearing from people who said, hey, we want to help, we want to help, we want to help. And so on Monday morning, I saw Harold Jenkins, and I talked to him, and he says, well, I've got box trucks, and let's put something together. So we got with Ike Crumpler. And
Hi, Ike. Paul is listening.
so we got with Ike, and Ike, me, Ike, and Harold, along with many other people, organized drop-off locations for individuals to drop off the supplies needed. And you've got the list there, I see, of the drop-off locations.
Yeah, here we go. You read from it.
Yeah, okay, I gotta put the glasses on.
Oh, okay.
Read, so,
Non-perishable food.
Okay,
So what are you talking about with
so-
non-perishable food? Cans?
Canned food, stuff that won't go bad.
Okay. Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Bread.
Tuna,
Tuna.
chicken,
Cans of tuna.
soups, Campbell's soups,
okay.
stuff like that.
Beans.
Not stuff that's gonna spoil, not
Right.
produce, not bread.
Oh, not bread.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta have bread for the peanut butter. For at least the first day.
Right, exactly.
I'm sorry.
But
Whoa.
we
Gotta have standards.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But we've
Jelly.
We've got 4 locations to drop off. We got
Right.
Habitat for Humanity, the Restore at 2090 Southeast Federal Highway. We
Is
got-
that the Bonita Street?
No,
store?
that's the one north.
Jensen Beach, okay. Or Southeast.
Actually,
Federal
yep, Southeast. No, it should be Northeast Federal Highway, but it's north of the bridge.
Highway. Okay, all right.
And then you had the
Realtor
Realtor Association of
Association.
Martin County, 43 Southwest Monterey Road. It's
At
next
Canner and Monterey.
right next to that little grocery store.
Yep,
And then you have Fairwind Air Charter, which is Alex's business, and that's at
that's
Witham
your
Field.
company, right?
Correct.
At Witham Field, okay.
And then the Hope Sound Chamber of Commerce at 11954 Southeast Dixie Highway in Hope Sound.
We lost Paul. Oh, Portia. Hello. She's choking you then. It was the peanut butter.
Yeah, got her excited.
Well, okay, so we've got 4 locations, and that's Habitat for Humanity, the Restore, the Realtor Association of Martin County, Fairwind Air Charter out at Witham Field, Hope Sound Chamber down on Dixie Highway down in Hope Sound. And the good news is that 1,200 bottles of water have been supplied and contributed by South Martin Regional Utility. and water blasting technologies. It's also providing water and tarps and plywood. But let's go into that. What do you still need?
Well, we have a list here. Non-perishable food, flashlights, diapers, toiletries.
Let's go slow.
Okay, I will. Paper towels, cleaning products, mops, bleach. Bleach is actually very important because they can clean water for other uses, non-drinking water. So
Yeah, they're having to boil water right now.
yeah.
And so, yeah, they need water for everything, but bleach to clean everything. Think how dirty everything is.
And bleach will also purify water. It'll kill parasites.
Oh, okay, good.
Work gloves, chainsaws, extension cords, wood screws, solar phone chargers, tarps, insect repellent, feminine products, wet wipes, soaps, brooms, buckets, hand sanitizers, generators, fans, plywood, and small AC units.
Are you gonna put this list online somewhere?
It is online.
It is online already with, Troy posted it, but I'm also gonna post it with the Martin County Difference. We're just gonna keep sharing it. I know Gail Ryan, our buddy out there, she's posted it on like 20 pages so far.
Okay.
So we're spreading the word, and that's why I love social media.
And this is
amazing.
helping so much tonight too.
Well, I
Thank you.
hope so, and so that's what the whole point is like, let's all help each other and get through this, and I think we will do that.
And that's really what this is all about. This is neighbors helping neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, during the hurricanes in 2004, a lot of people came and helped us, and I think that's what we're all about. That's what the state of Florida is about. It's about helping each other and making sure that we all survive and get through it. The folks down there are going to have a really hard time.
Yeah.
And we can, if we can do a few little things to make their lives a little bit better, I think it's worthwhile.
Well, absolutely, and the linemen who came from all over the country,
Right.
I want to say a shout out to them and thank them. And I saw a posting on Facebook, a friend of mine, or a couple of people, got involved in saying, hey, let's cook them a home-cooked meal. And they did a grill out in the parking lot last Saturday night, so you guys were down south. We were taking care of the out-of-state linemen here, which is great. And so, Krista Marquis, Leanna Cothran, and she was part of it. I want to thank them. It was a brilliant, sweet gesture, just the simplest thing. And they appreciated it so much. There was such a long string of Facebook postings from the wives of the men out where they live, wherever they came from. It all became this unified thing. It gives me chills.
You know, in the lineman, you bring that up, and my father was a lineman for a utility company in Ohio, and one of the things that people do not realize is how dangerous this is. This is, they're out there working, there's trees down, there's lines down, they're trying to get these lines energized to have tens of thousands of volts of electricity. And to emphasize the danger, a lineman was killed in Fort Lauderdale this week, restoring power. So these guys are unsung heroes that are out there working. So, and I know some people are, in different places, would like to have their power on faster, but they can only go so fast and be safe at the same time.
Absolutely.
So, next time you see these guys, just give them a thumbs up because...
yeah, we couldn't live without them. We wouldn't get our power back. I just want to say there's a comment on Facebook by Suzanne Connors. She's also having a relief effort this Saturday at the Fish House Arts Center. That's down in Port Salerno, right off Salerno Road. Just keep heading east to the water. And she wants to know if you can drop off items on Sunday morning. But I think that's going to be a little too late, or for another shipment maybe, if you're going to go down again.
Well, Sunday morning, we were planning on being loaded completely up on Saturday at some point, and we're going to leave very early on Sunday morning.
Okay,
so.
yeah, and I think some of these organizations have said that, like the Realtor Association, it's like by Thursday. Do you know, John? Did they say by Thursday or by Friday morning at the latest? So
I think it was. I can't recall exactly.
by Thursday. So you just want to get it on in there. And you know what? We'll be doing this again, I have a feeling.
Yeah, and look, there may
This
be...
is not a one-shot deal.
That's right, and we would have flown into Marathon as well, but it was shut down at the time. The military had taken over Marathon Airport.
Wow.
And so that may be open now or soon, and now you were looking to fly your plane down as well, with us, but maybe that's an opportunity.
Yeah, tell us, Alex.
Yeah, we can
about
certainly
that.
do that as well. I mean, I have a 182 at the Stuart Airport, plus we have corporate airplanes that, can hold a little bit more luggage and capacity to fly supplies. So depending on how you know, how much supplies we get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the goal is to fill these trucks up and get them down, but, you know, on Saturday, we had the opportunity of taking donations, and within 5-6 hours, my lobby was filled with supplies that we were ultimately able to get on the Gulf Stream and fly down to St. Thomas.
Wow, you went to
it
St.
helped them.
Thomas?
We went to St. Thomas and dropped off supplies. There was a big truck full of stuff.
Oh.
Chainsaws to water, dog food, cat food, all the things that are on this list.
Yeah, and anything else you can think of.
And, you know, we were able to evacuate a family of 4 out of there that had no home left.
I was just going to
and
ask
bring them
you,
back.
are you able to bring people back?
Yeah, we brought people back to Palm Beach, and then from there they headed back to be with family up in New Jersey. So it was a great experience.
That's
It was
a
awesome.
blessing.
And-
What about down South Florida? Are you able to bring anybody back up from there, or they can get out on their own by driving? Or the road's so bad?
It's probably a little bit easier for
Now?
people down south to get out
Yeah.
if they need to. You know, the process is to get supplies down there on a continuous basis and just get
Yeah.
the supplies flowing.
And I think,
ahead.
one more thing to mention was, since Alex, he arranged for the airplane, a Gulfstream, to go to St. Thomas. You know, St. Thomas is in the U.S. Virgin Islands, it's part of the United States. Desperate need. From what we're understanding, the security situation is failing. They're running out of food, they're running out of water, and they're just having another hurricane just hit them. And so
Maria.
Oh, yeah. And it's something else that, you know, there's relief efforts that are being generated here locally for the Virgin Islands as well. And so, you know, and Puerto Rico now has been hit by a massive storm. So, though it's, you know, we're working on the Keys, but there are people that are working on relief efforts for these other communities and other areas, because they are in desperate need as well.
It's amazing how it's all kind of the perfect storm. Remember that movie? This
Sure.
reminds me of this is
Multiple times.
multiple perfect storms. Yeah, and we just seem to be in a vortex of constant. You know, now there's an earthquake in Mexico. So where does it end? You know, but I'm so glad we have these giving hearts and our communities are coming together, because the one other thing that I talked about with Portia before, it was so horrible, was the Senior Citizen Center
Right.
in Hollywood.
Right, and we've actually been talking about trying to come up with some kind of legislation that can certainly not fix the problem, but at least will alleviate some of that. We're actually in talks right now, trying to come up with something that will, for larger establishments, require that they already have a requirement for some kind of generators, but the generators themselves are falling down. They're not as efficient as they should be. They don't come on as quickly. They're more meant as a residential. And these, you know, when you get 10 or more
Yeah,
beds,
that's commercial.
yeah, and you need to have the legislation in place
And
that
the
requires
regulations, yeah.
And, you know, I'm not saying that there aren't, isn't gonna be an availability of some kind of grants from the federal government to support this, because it's, you know, almost all these people are either on Medicare or Medicaid, which are federal programs administered on a state-by-state basis. So ultimately, it's the federal government, and, you know, we're trying to help them help us.
Yeah.
And that's heartbreaking to think of that.
And it's inexcusable. I mean, so I
Yeah,
think about
and
my
that-
mom, and she was lucky to be 70 miles north of the storm in Houston. She lives in Huntsville, Texas. So she was not in any danger, and my sisters and nieces' houses were surrounded by water, but no water came in. A lot of Houston is low, as we know, and a lot of it is concrete, and that's why the water couldn't go anywhere. But, and they have no zoning. It's also, woo-hoo, you know, let's build a building over here. But here in Florida, we're lucky, we're just a peninsula, but we get whipped by the wind, you know, and the devastation I saw for Puerto Rico today, when you're an island, man, there you know where to go.
Right, exactly.
So,
Yeah. Well, one of the things that, at the city of Stuart, that we did after we heard about the events down in Hollywood, is we started checking on our assisted living facilities.
good.
And one was evacuated this week because of an issue over on East Ocean Boulevard.
Okay.
So we are, it is a concern. It's working, you know, we need to make sure as a community, we need to make sure our elderly are protected. And I'm gonna give a shout out to our fire chief, Chief Dial, and he, you know, they took the right appropriate steps. They got everybody evacuated and everybody's safe. So,
And that's why with the elderly especially, it is so important to have a plan in place, something that, and now is not, you know, the time to think about it is when cool heads prevail. And so this was a very, very close call. We could have gotten Irma so much worse than we did, as
Oh,
the
yeah.
case showed.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so this is an opportunity for us to come together and think about best ways that we can protect ourselves in the future. Planning can save so many lives.
Absolutely, and speaking of planning, the reason my sisters did not lose power in Houston is because they have underground utilities. And I mentioned that I was at an event today, serving lunch with, and I was with Sarah Hurd, and I said, Sarah, why don't we have underground utilities here? And she said, well, because FPL doesn't want to spend the money for it. And it dawned on me, like, well, if they would spend the money now, we'd save the money later in overtime and all the agita that we go through after a storm. So I just think that's maybe something to look at, is having underground buried utilities, because it makes it, some neighborhoods have them right
Yeah,
here. I
that's
talked to
exactly
people who didn't lose power, and that's why. And you know, I'm over on the water in Mariner Cay, you sneeze and the power goes out. And we had a crazy situation. We had a whole house generator delivered to our house about 3 or 4 days before the storm, at which time FPL cut off all appointments to pull power and do things. So we didn't get power and we didn't get gas for it.
So you had that generator sitting there.
Hi! You're so pretty,
Scoffing.
so shiny and new. So we did have a partial house generator. I gotta say, at least we had lights, but we did have dinner by candlelight that night. It was all day. It was amazing that it was on as long as it was. I was impressed. And then at 8 o'clock that night, blink, you know, but it went out several times before, and I was like, no, wait, I just need to cook the chicken. 1 more minute, come on. So then I realized, you know, I was very lucky and very blessed, and we watched it. And, you know, when you're in it, it's not as bad feeling, looking sometimes as other people think it is. So when you're seeing it, I mean, the fear is the unknown. And what they got in, you know, Puerto Rico, though, is pretty darn bad. And we got bad, but it was really definitely worse on the West Coast. But we have big, tall palm trees, and I could see them whipping around like, yeah, they never really blew that hard before, but they look okay, you know, so, and nothing fell down. So it was just amazing. Maybe we did good pruning, you know, and that's another thing, everybody. Remember to do your hurricane cut long before June rolls around, right before, so they can pick it up and get it out of here. And, but you were talking about legislation for the seniors.
We've been looking at what the law is now and how it applies to the facilities. And you know, I'm not saying that the legislatures haven't been trying to do their best over the years, but we need to look at it again. We need to update it. We need to look at what the availability of products is much greater now than it was when these were crafted, you know, 20, 25 years ago. There's so much more things on the market that we can do, and we just need to keep up with the advances in technology, which is always a challenge because, you know, the law is always lagging behind, usually several years. But, so we're supposed to be meeting with the legislature next week.
Oh, good.
We're working on getting appointments right now, so.
Excellent. Well,
So-
this is how we do it. It takes a tragedy sometimes or a catastrophic event, but it gets us to, like you said, in the calmer days, you know, going forward, looking at it, how we could do this better, and we learn. I mean, kind of like every time they make a car, each year they fix it and make it better and safer, and we learn from our mistakes. And, you know, if you'd had a seatbelt on this way, you wouldn't have died, you know, so we need to be cautious of those things.
The journey through life is a learning experience every step of the way.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah, enjoy the journey. Just back to the comments, Suzanne Connors chimed back in, and she said she just found out there's another box truck going down next Wednesday, and the Boy Scouts will be collecting through Wednesday. So people can continue dropping off at the Fish House, Marker 23 Gallery. That's great. This is a wonderful community organized event. So, and thanks Katie. Katie Bourgeois is out there listening. She says, thanks, great job getting the word out. I'm so glad you guys are here tonight. We're here with Mayor Troy McDonald, his wife Portia Scott is an attorney with Elder Care, and also Alex Beringer. You have a charter air.
Yeah, we own Fairwind Air Charter here.
Fairwind
local
Air Charter.
company, correct.
Okay. And John Leighton is a realtor and developer, commercial and residential.
Correct.
Whose wife and I now are new friends on Facebook.
That's right.
And she's
Hello, honey.
Hello.
And a shout
Not
out
me, your wife.
And a shout out to John's
Careful,
wife who
careful.
just got her real estate license.
Yeah, that's what I was
Well,
about to
right,
say. She
yeah.
just joined the ranks of the Realtor Association, and we got some hearts and loves for that. I think
Oh.
she must have. And Julie Vittori, oh yeah, she remembers I did pose with my crazy light on my head. I had a miner's light. I showed my husband my picture. At the moment the lights went out, I was like, oh no, and I was like, get the candles. And my sister texted me a picture at that moment from Houston. She goes, you need one of these. And she showed her in the hurricane in Harvey with a miner's headlamp on. So I was like, my sister got one of these, and what did I get? Darkness. And he's like, wait a minute. And he goes around the corner, and he comes back out, and he goes, fresh from Home Depot. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding.
Hero of the day.
He was my hero of the year of the century. So I put that on very gladly, and I'm telling you, what a difference. I was the happiest person in the whole world, and didn't even mind doing the dishes in the dark. But we did go to bed early, and I'll tell you what, I was so tired. That's the other thing. This is very tiring, and I think people need to realize we get tired from this mentally, physically, psychologically. And you got to take care of yourself and drink a lot of water if you have it, hopefully. And again, we need water. Let's review this.
Gallon a day.
A gallon a day, at least. Okay, I like that. Well, at least 8 of those.
That's what you need per person.
Okay, so that's a lot of water. We want to get that. And at my office at Coldwell Banker, I'm just going to go over this again if you've just joined us. We're talking about Operation Keys to Recover. It's a wonderful grassroots organized event to get supplies down to our neighbors and friends in the Keys. And they're taking trucks down this weekend. More coming next week. The Boy Scouts are going to do that and drop off things at the Fish House Art Center. But non-perishable food, flashlights, diapers, toiletries, paper towels, cleaning products, mops, bleach, work gloves, chainsaws, extension cords, wood screws, solar phone chargers, oh boy, yeah, tarps, insect repellent, feminine products, wet wipes, soaps, brooms, buckets, hand sanitizers, generators, fans, plywood, small AC units, shampoo, conditioner, razors, on and on the list goes. You just walk down the aisle at the grocery store and pick out what you like and put it in a Ziploc or a big grocery bag and drop it off. And you can drop it off at Habitat for Humanity at their Restore at 2090 Federal Highway. And you say that's the one
North of the bridge, yes.
Okay, north of the bridge. And then the Realtor Association of Martin County, which is at the intersection of Monterey and Canner at 43 Southwest Monterey Road. The Fairwind Air Charter, right over here, courtesy of Alex Beringer, at 2525 Witham Field Drive. Now, how do they go into?
It's right just north of the fairgrounds, right there, where
Okay.
the big Atlantic aviation sign is, where the first hangar right there by the road with signage all over. You can't miss it.
Okay.
And the cool thing on our location
Yes.
is we're staffed from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. So if people can get there during best business hours, get there early, get there late, just knock on the door, they'll let you come in.
That's great.
And that'll work out well.
And this is a privately held air charter and an aircraft management firm, and you've been around since 2002, right?
Well, the company's been around since 1985.
Oh.
We're Stewart-based since, I believe, 98.
Wow, that's great. So you have charters in and out, private charters?
We do private charters, we manage aircraft, and every once in a while we have an opportunity to fill an airplane up with goodies and bring people that are in need. So
That's
this
nice.
worked out really well last week.
And absolutely, and he brought people back from St. Thomas.
Correct.
That's awesome. So I just
That's
wanted
a
to-
hero story
That's
right
a hero
there.
story right there. These are heroes. These are good Samaritans, and I love my hashtag heroes. And then the Hobe Sound Chamber, because Harold Jenkins, our new commissioner for that region down there, that district, is loaning his trucks from his landscaping business,
Yep.
right, Jenkins?
Yep, Jenkins Landscaping is providing the trucks, and of course, and Harold's driving, and
Harold's driving.
Harold's driving.
And you're
I'm-
riding shotgun?
I'm riding shotgun.
Literally with a shotgun? I mean, you don't want to get mugged along the way. You know, people, you got to be careful.
Yes.
I've heard there are people out there who will take your supplies.
Well, I think it'll be fine, but I don't think we're gonna. I think that the good people in the Keys are gonna welcome us with open arms.
Yeah,
relief.
they'll absolutely put out the red carpet. It'll be the Liberation Day, you know, chocolates, little children.
Since we're doing shout outs,
Yes.
let me give one to Angela Hoffman down at the Hope Sound Chamber.
Oh,
she
good, Angela.
she put the call out for the Saturday donation,
Okay.
and that girl is on fire. She brought people in and filled the lobby up. So
Oh my gosh,
she's good.
Yeah.
there are so many wonderful people
Angela is
involved
good.
in
If she's
this.
listening, we love you.
Angela, I hope you're out there. Julie Vittori's listening, and Paula Crumpler says, hello everyone. See, I
Yeah.
told you. Hi,
Ah,
Hi
here we go.
Paula. And Misty Thomas Moody, she was here and she joined. Oh, and look, we got hearts. Every time I mention somebody's name, they
Excellent.
so keep hearting it and liking it and sharing it. And this will also be on iTunes as a podcast, so you can share this out there. And this is something that's a relief effort that will go on and on and on. So if you want to reach out and help later on, go to the Facebook page for Troy McDonald and send him a message. He's involved, very much involved. Paula Crumpler's over here. Portia Scott, his wife, she's an attorney at her own law firm. And Alex
On my
Beringer.
end, if you look at Alex Beringer on Facebook or
Yep.
Fair When Our Children Like It, our trips may be a little more short notice, so when it happens, we'll put the word out and get as many supplies as we can.
Good.
And go, so
Good.
it happens quick.
Good. And John Leighton, they can get in touch with you as well, because
Absolutely,
we're all
sure.
connected, and you're
Absolutely.
involved in doing this too. And you said you flew the plane?
I did, and Troy was my co-pilot. Thank
Oh
goodness I
my
had Troy there.
God, neat. How long have you been flying?
Oh, probably 6-7 years.
How exciting.
Yeah.
My father had his own personal private pilot's license,
Sure.
so I'm impressed. I love the sound of the airplanes, the small planes at the airfield. It's a nice, reassuring sound for me as a kid. That and lawnmowers on a Saturday, you know, I don't know.
Well, that was the only way really in, you know, when we went, because they did have the roads closed.
That's what I was
so,
gonna say, and you took pictures, it was pretty devastating, and
In the short period, the little bit that we flew towards Marathon, we only flew 3 or 4 miles towards Marathon, but every half mile you could see an increase in damage. And so I'm really concerned about what we're going to see when we drive down there.
yeah, it'll be closer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up to you,
Right.
right. Well, that's what I think, what I wanted to know was your feelings, your experiences, and you know, I watched them all be very, the news people were pretty good about interviewing the people at Harvey, and not just sticking a mic in their faces, but asking them how were they, you know, what did they need, what were they up to, you know, who else is back there in the house. Did you have some of that experience where people coming out to meet you and?
Well, I would say the woman that came and met us, Stacy, she, before we left, the emotion overwhelmed her, and in fact, she posted on my Facebook page apologizing for crying all over me. So,
Oh.
but you know, and the only reason that's one reason I'm talking about how much she was crying, because she did post on Facebook, and she did a couple of videos, and she was crying in the video. So it was a very heartwarming feeling for myself, and I'm sure for John as well, to see how grateful was that these few little things that we brought down really making a difference.
About how much weight did you guys take down there in supplies?
Oh, probably 350 pounds.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
okay.
but it was so much.
Sizable,
To
yeah.
Troy's point, there was toothpaste, and you know, it just went on, and there was so many folks that stepped up once Troy and Portia put it on their Facebook pages. It
Yeah.
was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It truly was.
Love that about Facebook, I'll tell you what, it
Yeah.
just spreads the word.
And our
Yes, it
community,
And our
you know,
community
our
is-
community has stepped up
Amazingly.
amazingly.
Go
And
Martin County.
Exactly.
Martin first, Martin strong.
Okay. I love that hashtag, you did that, hashtag Martin Strong, so I use that. Martin Strong and Florida Strong, we really are. And it's, this is why I ended up with the show, the name, the Martin County Difference.
Difference, absolutely.
Because we really are special and different, and we help each other, and everybody knows everybody. I figured out now, you know, the 6 degrees of separation, it's really 3.9.
Yeah.
Especially in Martin County.
It might even be shorter than, maybe 2.9. And just so you know, Paula Crumpler also has posted the locations and list of needs in the comments of this, and please feel free to copy and paste to your page. So start spreading this on and on and on, and this will just grow and be better and better. And Katie Bourgeois said that her Goombay Smash was at the Fairwind Air
Yes, it
Charter
was.
hangar,
Yes,
right?
it was. It was great.
Another good
All right.
cause.
Yeah.
And you're involved in adoptions and foster care, is that
We
right?
did. We adopted some kids, and we're very busy here in the community. We love it, and yeah,
Oh,
definitely. Hibiscus House rocks.
Oh, Hibiscus House, yes, absolutely. And I had Kenya Reinhardt on. She's with another group called Foster for Kids. And they started in South Florida, and now they have the Stuart branch, so she does foster kids. And
Excellent.
she has like 8 or 10 children.
Yeah,
that
it's
are
an immense
around.
need. It's between St. Lucie and
Yes.
Martin County. It's a good amount of people. So
Yeah, and that's an incredible way to give back.
yes, it is.
It's
A lot of work, but it's a lot very
Yeah,
rewarding.
That's
very
good,
rewarding.
that's good. Oh, look at all the hearts and loves coming across for that.
there you
Thank
go.
you,
Alex.
everybody. All right.
Instant feedback.
It is instant gratification.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone out there in Facebook land. And as you know, this lives on, so please share it. And this way, we'll keep bringing the supplies down to the people who need it. and hopefully we could even do more for taking it over. Thank you to St. Thomas, maybe even Puerto Rico, I don't know. At least if we get it collected, maybe it could go on a bigger airplane somewhere at some point in time, and just, you know, because FEMA's great. They've done a great job. I think our government has stepped up incredibly well.
But the need is so
Huge.
pronounced. I
So-
mean, every time you turn around,
Yeah.
there's another catastrophe.
Well, yeah, there's that, and then they need the building supplies. They have nothing.
Puerto Rico's reporting right now 100% power outage, the whole island. So they, you know, there's gonna be a lot of need. I know there is organizations that are marshaling supplies together, and they're planning on taking shipping containers to Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, both the U.S. and the British Virgin Islands. I'm sure there's going to be people doing relief for Barbuda and Antigua and Dominique. Now, I guess Dominique got hit very hard. So, you know, these places, they all have, everybody has a special place somewhere in the Caribbean or someplace, and they have special places in our hearts. And I think it's important we go and we visit these places on our vacations, whether it's the Bahamas or St. Vincent and the Grenadines or wherever it is. I think it's important they give us so much joy when we go there. It's kind of, when they're going to be in need, we need to reach out and help them.
Absolutely, payback, and you know, and when they do rebuild, go there and
Right.
spend your money,
Exactly.
and then help their economy. So that's a good idea. John Leighton and I are on the Government Affairs Committee of the Realtor Association. That's how we ended up first meeting. And that's something that we keep our eyes on the horizon about what's going on. And this is something that concerned us and came up quickly, of course, in the need, you know, but we have worked with Troy and other members of the commission. Oh, my music came on so fast.
2 minutes.
Okay. Oh, so I just wanted to say a shout out to John, because he does a lot for the community as well.
Well, thank you.
Yep, and in leadership, and you know, and a third generation
That is correct.
from
Yes,
Stuart.
yes.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Not too many of those around, but
No.
when they are, they're special. It's to like say, hey, pretty cool. Okay, come on, let's see, your wife's like, get those hearts coming. I'm working it. But I want to thank, again, John Leighton on the end for being here tonight.
Well, thank
Alex, yeah, absolutely. Alex Beringer, thank you.
It
And
was a
remember,
pleasure.
go to Tradewind and tell them the address again.
Yeah, Fairwind Air Charter.
Fairwind, I'm sorry.
2525 Southeast Witham Field Drive, right there north of the fairgrounds, where the
Okay.
big Atlantic Aviation sign is. Can't miss us.
Okay, great. And you're open until 8 o'clock at
We're
night?
6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just knock on the door if it's locked. We'll get your supplies in. Bring
Great,
them out.
great. And Portia Scott, thank you so much.
And I want to thank you for dedicating this show to this project.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely. Thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we just have a minute off there. I really want to thank my special guest, Mayor Troy McDonald, my dancing teammate from last year.
right.
We didn't dance with each other. We each had our own partners, but that was a lot of fun. And don't forget to go to mchealthystart.org and vote for your favorite dancer. You can't vote for Troy or me this time, but there are other ones. You could. It'd be a waste of your money. But anyway, please help out and take part in Keys to Recover. Share this. Anybody can help across America, so share this with all your friends, loved ones, and let's help the people in the South Florida area. And I'll see you next week here on the Martin County Difference at 7 o'clock-ish. And maybe we'll have you back and give us a recap.
That'd
All
be
right?
great. That'd be
Okay,
great.
so we'll
Love to.
see you guys in the studio next week for sure. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Awesome.
That was great.
Nice job.
Good job.
That's very generous of you.
Yeah, very, very good.
And now there's the after party somewhere?
Yeah.
After party.
That's right,
Ronzo's.
That's right.
That's where we're going.
Right. You want to go home
Oh.
and feed the kids?
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much,
Hey,
everybody.
foster
Thank
forum.
you so
Thank you so much.
much. You have 4?
All right, take care.
Oh my God. John, thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Thank you, thank
Okay,
you.
absolutely. So, and once
Thank
the
you.
show's up on YouTube,
Thank you,
share
thank
it,
you so
like
much.
it,
Yep.
subscribe.
Nice job. Thank you.
Then Frank, thank you, Frank.
Good to
Take
see
care.
you too. Take care.
And we'll maybe do this next week. I'll confirm with this.